Welcome to the Drunken Zombies Podcast, your daily dose of zombie tales. I'm Adrian, your host.
And I'm Julia. I'm here to help us dissect these delicious stories.
Yeah, we're kicking off this brand new show with a story that has everything. Time travel, a cyborg hero, and a scientist trying to stop the zombie apocalypse.
It's a wild recipe for sure, so grab your favorite drink and get comfortable.
The story throws us right into this dark future where, humanity is just barely hanging on. Cities are totally empty, overrun by zombies, and there's almost no hope left.
But there's this one place, Eden, a sanctuary, where they're working on a last-ditch effort called the Afterlife Protocol. And they're sending a cyborg back in time to, stop the apocalypse from even starting.
Whoa, time travel and cyborgs. This is already sounding like a big-budget action movie.
Right, and this cyborg, Zane, he's not just any machine. He's like a super advanced time-traveling warrior. And he's got this mission to protect Dr. Elara Vance, who's like the key to humanity surviving.
So Elara's the one who can stop this whole zombie mess. What makes her so special?
Well, in the future, Elara's this brilliant scientist who figures out how to cure the zombie virus. So Zane's got to keep her safe in the past so she can finish her work.
Man, that's a lot of pressure on one person. Can you imagine what Elara must have thought when she met a cyborg from the future telling her she's the world's only hope?
Oh, yeah. Their first meeting, it does not go well, let me tell you. Time travel, zombies, a cyborg bodyguard. Elara is, well, understandably pretty skeptical.
I mean, who wouldn't be? It sounds like some crazy conspiracy theory.
But then fate steps in, A lab experiment nearby goes totally haywire, and bam, mini-zombie outbreak. Zane jumps into action. He shows off all his incredible skills, takes care of the threat, and protects her.
Talk about a convincing demo. Seeing is believing, right?
You got it. Elara sees firsthand just how amazing Zane is, and all her doubts, poof, gone.
So she's on board now, but what about everyone else? I can't imagine the government just accepting this whole zombie apocalypse thing.
Oh, you are absolutely right. Zane and Elara run into a wall of skepticism. Like, nobody believes their story. People dismiss them. The authorities ignore them. It's like nobody wants to hear it.
It's that whole thing, like knowing the truth but not being able to convince anyone. What's it called?
The Cassandra complex. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But, in the middle of all this rejection, there's one group that's interested in what they're saying, and it's a really powerful pharmaceutical company.
Ooh. Now things are getting interesting. Yeah. Are they going to help Zane and Elara, or are they going to make things even worse?
Well, at first it seems like they're going to help. They give them resources, access to their labs, and they seem to believe in the threat in Elara's research.
That's a good sign, right? At least they have some support now.
It seems like it, but you got to remember, big corporations, they always have their own agendas.
Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. What's the catch?
As Zane and Elara get deeper into their research, they figure out what the company's really up to. They're not interested in saving humanity. They want to weaponize the virus to make money and control everything.
Whoa, that's messed up. So what do? They can't just let this corporation exploit the apocalypse.
They decide to expose the company's plan, but it backfires big time. The company was one step ahead. They set a trap and capture both Zane and Elara.
This is bad. What happens to them?
Zane gets locked up in a special unit designed to shut down his cyborg powers, and they take Elara prisoner and steal all her research. It seems like all hope is lost.
This is like the lowest point for them. How can they possibly escape and stop this corporation now?
It seems impossible, but Zane's got a secret trick up his sleeve, this fail-safe program that lets him mess with the facility's security systems.
Wait, he can hack their systems? That's so smart.
Yep. Zane uses this program to create chaos and distractions, which gives him and Elara a chance to break free.
They're using the company's own tech against them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But escaping is just the first step. They're still fugitives, right?
Yeah, they're on the run, and this pharmaceutical company is not giving up. They're determined to shut them up permanently.
Man, this is getting intense. We'll have to stop here and pick up their story next time. But before we go, tell me, have you ever felt like you were fighting a losing battle, like the odds were totally stacked against you? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be back soon with the rest of Zane and Elara's fight for humanity.
Wow, that was a close one. Zane and Elara barely escaped with their lives.
It was a truly daring escape, you're right. But now, they're facing an even tougher challenge. I mean, they need to prove they're innocent and expose this company's whole evil plan.
Yeah, and they got to do all that while running from the company's security forces, It's a lot.
It's like they jumped from the frying pan straight into the fire. What do you think their plan should be?
Well, I think they need some kind of rock-solid proof, something that'll force everyone to see the truth about the company. Yeah, they need evidence, not just their word against this powerful corporation.
That's a good point.
But finding that evidence is going to be tough. I mean, this company has tons of resources, and they're probably experts at covering your tracks.
Don't forget, though, Zane's a cyborg from the future, right? He's got all this advanced technology, plus those hacking skills we saw.
Oh, right. So their escape wasn't just about getting away, they were also gathering information.
Exactly. They were finding the company's weak points, figuring out how to take them down. I bet Zane can use his cybernetic powers to get into the company's systems and find the evidence they need.
So they were thinking ahead the whole time, using their time as prisoners to come up with a plan.
Exactly. And you know what? He does. Zane gets into the company's secret files, and he finds proof of everything, their messed up experiments, how they planned to use the virus as a weapon, even how they were manipulating the government. It's all right there.
That's huge. They finally have their smoking gun. But what do they do with this information? They need to make a statement, something big. Leaking it anonymously won't be enough. They need the world to see it, no doubt.
So they need to go big, expose everything on a massive scale. Like, what if they hacked into all the news channels and broadcasted the truth to everyone?
That's a great idea. And it's not that far off from what they actually do.
Really? Tell me.
So Zane uses his hacking skills to take over the city's whole communication network. He's broadcasting the evidence to every screen in the city. It's like a digital bomb going off.
Wow, that's even better than just the news. They're hitting every screen in the city. No one can ignore it.
It's like a digital revolution. Everyone's furious. Protests are breaking out. The government can't pretend anymore. Zane and Elara totally flipped the script.
This is awesome. It's like David and Goliath, but David's got a cybernetic slingshot, and he knows how to use it.
It is pretty awesome, but we can't forget about the pharmaceutical company. They're not just going to give up.
I bet they're furious. What do they do to fight back?
They launch a full-on manhunt for Zane and Elara. They call them terrorists. Try to turn everyone against them.
No way. That's messed up. They're fighting to save the world, and now they're public enemy number one.
It is messed up. It really makes you think about how easy it is for people in power to twist the truth.
It's scary, really.
Mm-hmm.
But they find some help, right? Not everyone believes the lies.
You're right. They connect with this group of underground activists, people who know how to use tech, who believe in their cause and are willing to help. It shows you, even against these huge powers, there's always people fighting for what's right.
That's good. At least they're not completely alone. But they can't hide forever. What's their next move?
Well, they discover the company's got an even worse plan. They're going to release a new version of the virus, deadlier and even more contagious than the first one.
Are you kidding? Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense.
It's about control. That's all they care about. They think if they unleash this new virus, everyone will panic and need them to come up with a cure. That way they can make even more money and get even more power.
This is insane. They're willing to sacrifice millions of lives just to stay in control. Zane and Elara have to stop them.
They do. Zane and Elara are all that stands between humanity and complete annihilation. It all comes down to this final showdown, and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. We'll dive into that epic battle in the next part of our podcast.
All right, we're back. Time for the final showdown, right?
That's right. Zane and Elara, they're going up against the ultimate challenge. Gotta stop this super deadly zombie virus from being unleashed.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Yeah.
Our heroes are literally trying to save the world from, well, a fate worse than death.
And where's this all going down? A super secret island hidden in fog where this evil company has its main research facility?
Sounds like the perfect place for a final showdown. A hidden island? They probably thought they could get away with anything out there.
Oh, they definitely underestimated Zane and Elara, plus all the people who joined their cause.
So how do they even get to this island fortress? I doubt they have an invitation.
It takes a bit of everything: stealth, high-tech gear, and a whole lot of help from their new allies.
I can picture it. A small team sneaking onto this island armed with all sorts of cool gadgets, ready to fight for what's right. It's like a scene straight out of a spy movie.
It's a high-stakes mission, the clock is ticking, and the company's about to launch this virus. Every second counts.
What's the plan? Do they go in guns blazing or try a sneak attack?
A bit of both, actually. Zane's going to infiltrate the facility, try to sabotage the launch, while Elara focuses on telling the world what this company's really doing.
Smart. Zane uses his cyborg skills to stop the launch from the inside, while Elara takes on the information war. But I'm guessing it's not going to be easy, is it?
Of course not.
Yeah.
This is a zombie apocalypse story, remember? There are always going to be some twists and turns. Zane's facing heavy resistance inside. Security systems, armed guards, even some freaky bioweapons.
He's basically a one-man army fighting his way through a high-tech maze.
You got it. He has to use all his skills, his combat training, his strategy, and all his tech just to survive each step.
And what about Elara? What's she up against, trying to get the truth out from a remote island?
She's got to rely on her smarts and the help of those tech-savvy friends. They're working hard to break through the company's firewalls and get their message out to everyone.
So it's a digital battle, a fight for control, right?
Yeah.
Zane fighting for control of the facility, Elara fighting to control the narrative.
Exactly. But just as Zane gets deeper into the facility, he makes a terrifying discovery.
Oh man, what is it? Is it too late? Can he even stop the launch?
The countdown's already started, it's a ticking time bomb, and Zane's running out of time.
This is a nightmare. What can he do?
Zane realizes that fighting won't be enough. He has to think outside the box, use his unique powers.
He's a cyborg from the future, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he has some crazy futuristic gadget or weapon that can help.
It's even more than that. Remember how strongly Zane's connected to time? Well, he can actually manipulate it.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying he can time travel? Like rewind things or change the past?
It's not exactly like rewinding, but Zane can create a localized temporal anomaly.
A what? A temporal anomaly? That sounds intense. What does that even mean?
He can create a time loop, a small pocket of repeating time, right around the launch sequence.
So he can basically trap the launch in this time loop, make sure it never actually happens?
That's the idea. It's super risky. He's pushing his abilities to the limit, but it's the only way to stop this virus.
That's brilliant. He's using time itself as a weapon. But what about the people inside the facility? Are they stuck in this time loop too?
They are, but Zane's control is very precise. Only the launch is affected. Everyone else is safe.
That's good to hear. So the launch is stopped, virus contained. But what of the company? Did they just get away with all this?
Nope. Elara's broadcast works. The whole world sees the truth, the company's exposed, and their whole empire falls apart. They face justice, finally.
It's a victory for truth, for courage, for all those who never give up hope. But what about Zane? What happens to our time-traveling hero?
Well, that's where things get a little bittersweet. Creating this time loop took everything Zane had. His connection to the time stream is broken. He can't go back to his own time.
No way, that's so sad. He saved the world but lost his way home.
It was a sacrifice he made. He knew the risks. He chose to save this world, even if it meant losing his own.
What a story. It really makes you think about heroism, about sacrifice, about what it means to fight for something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, Zane's story reminds us that even when things seem hopeless, there's always a chance to turn things around.
Absolutely. It's a story about hope, about resilience, about finding strength even in the darkest of times. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through time in the zombie apocalypse.
We hope you enjoyed hearing about Zane and Elara's fight for survival. And remember, keep your brain sharp, your senses alert, and never give up hope. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and don't get bitten.
And don't forget, rate and follow the Drunken Zombies Podcast for more stories of brains and mayhem. We'll be back soon with another spine-chilling tale. Until then, sleep tight and don't let the bedbugs bite, or the zombies